So the tabletop is getting close to being ready. There's lots to do on it, but it's going pretty well. What about the legs and the rails? So for the legs, I've already glued these up. I had to build them up in thickness, but what I've done, I've glued them up as 3 pieces of silky oak, recycled, look at all the nail holes. But what I've done is I've got this piece in the middle and I've sawn through here so that, voila, it's book matched. So it's the same grain pattern here as here. So when I put the table together, I will probably have it, I don't know if you can see that, like that, so that the sweep here in the pattern of the grain will be going out. That will give the impression that the legs are sweeping out. Okay, what I have to do now is I have to cut the legs to length. You could have the legs running like that, but we're going to have them running like that. So imagine the legs won't be like that. They're going to be on a slight angle like that. So I'm going to make the table 730mm high overall. So the length of the legs is 730 less the thickness of this. However, the legs are on an angle, remember, and that will change it. So when they're like that, it's going to make it a little bit lower. You know what? That's good. Okay, the legs are going to be 695mm high. Now, I've book matched them, but you can really come unstuck here because I want the angle here to flare out at the sides. I don't want it to be like that. It's going to look terrible if it's upside down. So you need to pause and think which way is the grain going to look best before you cut. I'm going to cut these legs to length and the rails on my miter saw, or a drop saw, whatever you want to call it. I'm putting an angle of 3 degrees. I can dial in the angle here. Before I cut, I'm going to put on a dust mask. I'm going to put on headphones. And as my daughter pointed out, I'm going to put on safety glasses because pieces of wood fly out and you don't want to get hit in the eye. You want to hang on to your hearing, and the dust mask is obvious. I've also got this rigged up to my dust extractor as well. Sometimes if you're cutting short pieces, which you should never do if they're too short, don't try and cut things like that, it's too small. Just throw it away. I use push sticks. I might hold this like that. Now I got these many years ago from a guy, Henry Black in Sydney. They're about 20 years old, and I've still got them, I'm still using. So Henry, I love you, man.